Islam, 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 and welcome to our blessed holy day service. This is the Moorish Science Temple of America, 1928, styled as the Moorish Temples of Islam, and this is Grand Temple number 2, located in Decatur, Georgia, as we are shaped to Carter Mecca Bay. We'll be opening our blessed holy day service with prayer. As always, those who are of our faith will join us. Those who are not, to remain silent. Islam. Allah, Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through His holy prophet, Jurali. Amen. Islam, Islam, Islam. As we rise this day, being February the 27th, the 140th year of Ali, the year 2026 in the Roman calendar year, we submit and we declare there is no Allah but Allah, and Noble Drew Ali is Allah's last prophet in these days and times. As Allah has given us life, Allah will cause us to die, but Allah will give us life once again, evermore. As we can never repay the debt which we owe to Allah, it is with gratitude that we walk this straight path, this true path to Allah. As Allah is compassionate, as Allah is merciful, and Allah is the master of the day of judgment. It's Allah and Allah alone that we worship, as He continues to guide us on the true path. As we praise Allah, as He is the causeless cause and the rootless root from which all good is sprang forth, as Allah is eternal, as He is for the never-ending days of the past to the everlasting days which are sure to come. As we give praises to Allah for sending us in a special part of Himself, clothed in divine flesh, in His most noblest image, that of our holy and divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. He so loved us, He sent us our very own prophet, one who speaks the same language that we speak, understand the language that we understand, one who came up in those conditions that we still continue to face this day, more harshly when He was here in the flesh, but nonetheless, the system's still intact. We give praises to Allah for sending us a prophet that not only understood our plight, but also was raised from amongst us as a people. As the Quran of Mecca and the Prophet Muhammad declares that a prophet will come to every nation, and that prophet speaking the language of the people, that the message is clear, no misunderstandings, no miscommunications. We give high honors to our holy and divine prophet, as he is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, the educational branch of the Moorish nation. Again, we have to be educated in the understanding of the true way of life of a Moorish American Muslim. So what better to facilitate that idea than to be educated, to be taught? As our Divine Constitution and Bylaws Act 6 declares that with us, all members first and foremost must step forward and declare this is what they want. They must step forward and say, I want to be a part of this. Once this is a known fact, then we are to teach them their nationality and to teach them their divine creed. Where would you find most of your teachers other than an educational system? So the prophet was well aware and far ahead of the idea. We had to be taught. We had to be trained in the understanding of this new knowledge. It had to be given to us in steps and degrees, and it had to be utilized. It had to be exercised. It had to be proven to yourself to be true. I didn't say prove it to be true. Prove it to yourself that it's true. You know, prophet said he had a lot of doubting Thomases and a lot of Jonas back in his day. Well, as we understand, history does repeat itself when one does not know his true belonging. So that cycle is still repeating itself. Those who doubt that the prophet and what he has put together, they doubt it and they run to the European for that opinion. I'm not going to call it a second opinion because they still believe the European over what the prophet has brought. So our Holy Divine Prophet instituted the Moorish Science Temple of America as an educational system to teach us, to raise us, to qualify us to be better men and women, to qualify us to be citizens of the government, to qualify us in understanding our relationship to Allah. So we give high Moorish honors to our Holy Divine Prophet, Noble Drew Ali. We also give honors to who the prophet gave honors: Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius. Peace be upon all the divine prophets. And we give a special honor to the forerunner, the John the Baptist of this era time, Saint Marcus Messiah Garvey, the one who declared what the Negro wanted. He declared that the Negro was asking for a Quran. He was asking for a Mohammedan. He was asking for a nationality. He was asking for a lot. But he, John the Baptist of this day, stated, there's someone that I'm coming to this meeting tomorrow night. I can't lace up his bootstraps. But he's going to teach you those things that was not part of my divine mission. His mission was to get them together under one idea, one aim, and one God. The prophet can teach them. Those who would join him, those who would venture. You know, we have a historical account of one member, Brother T. Booker Bay, the then oldest active member of the Moorish Science Temple of America, who passed in the early 90s. But his account was he was there. As a matter of fact, he was a chauffeur for St. Marcus Messiah Garvey, as the historical account would have it. So who's better than to give a rendition of what happened, how it happened, who was there when it happened? And he left that meeting. He joined the prophet. And to the day he drew his last breath, he was a Moorish American. I mean, these type of empirical information and tales from the elders, these are the things that are necessary. They're necessary based on the fact that wasn't that long ago. The 90s was only 25, 30 years back. But look at the impact of a story, of an account that links the Moorish Science Temple of America to that of the forerunner, St. Marcus Messiah Garvey, and all those who were there in attendance at this special meeting. We also give the high honors to our first Grand Sheikh of the Moorish Science Temple of America, St. Edward Miliel, as he was the first to be appointed to the position by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali and accepted by the august great grand body of 1928. So, again, another historical account. In fact, then we get honors to our present-day Grand Sheikh, our Sheikh of Islam here in the West. We affectionately call the Chief of Ministers, Sheikh Dr. Rasadiel, who is the Moorish Mahdi, which means reformer. As we give him all honors and due respect of a Grand Sheikh, as he was appointed, duly appointed, October 2010 to the position of Grand Sheikh. And we give him honor as he has maintained and carried out the discharge of the office with the respect, the honor, and the trustworthy placed in his hand to do so. we give him honor. So as we continue forward, we just wanted to touch on a oral statement or prophecy, and it's number 26 for those who have this particular document. So I'll read it as it's stated. Sister A. Brown Eel of Temple 4 and 25 said that the Holy Prophet said, one day the European is going to let you down. You are going to have to put up a 90-day supply of food to last you until your brothers come to your rescue from the east. Now, just the initial shock of the statement is one day the European is going to let you down. How many ways? Let me count them. There's all those who are watching the country's political system and the drama as it's playing out before us in real time. You can see there are many things which are transpiring real quickly. A lot of different systems are being uprooted. A lot of different systems are being challenged, discarded, renewed, revamped. But who is catching the brunt of all of these changes other than those who are dependent upon this particular system to maintain and or survive? So we're going to take a short break. Please stand by.
Go. Different direction. So too have they done with the truth that is supposed to come from the east. Now, a lot of y'all have heard me teach on it. I've taught y'all basically, that this is not supposed to come in, it's supposed to be for the Masonic order. Because all you Moors leaving the temple going to the Masonic order. When the prophet was here, they was leaving the lodge coming into the temple. Think about that. When the prophet was here, and you that are Masons are looking for greater light, left the lodge and came to the temple. Now, brothers are leaving the temple, going into the lodge. Now, if it was darkness in the lodge when the prophet was here, there can't be no light in it today. So you're leaving the light, going into the darkness. But the prophet spoke on that too. All this is out of Religion Controversy, page 8. The prophet.
Islam. We're back. Thank you for that. As we were stating that many of those systems are being reformed, and by this reformation, a lot of people are suffering losses, and they're crying toward the government for help. The prophet had forewarned us in that particular statement. I mean, it goes on and speak about the different things that we must do in order to be self-sustaining during those time periods. But the majority of it stems upon the faith that you have in the prophet, the faith that you have in what the prophet has instructed those who he taught to teach you this day, down the generations. That is, in essence, the truthfulness. If you believe what the prophet has brought and taught to our forefathers and mothers, and that we're receiving these true teachings today, then there shouldn't be any fear level for you. The prophet said, we're not to fear anything. If we're with Allah, Allah will show us. Now it's on us to act. So, is it going to be the U.C.C. that's going to save you? Or maybe perhaps the sovereignty degree? Or maybe the Hickory Dickory DOC demonstration? Our leadership teaches us that You doubt these lessons that the prophet has, then you should turn in your card and button. You should put down everything that you acquired from the Moorish Science Temple and go on your way. It's really that simple, but like a jilted bride at the altar, retribution is in your eye. And that is the line that you're going because you're diametrically opposed to the prophet and his teachings. Because you feel that the prophet was not and is not perfect. As you say, his religion can't save you. All of these different areas of disbelief and hypocrisy while wearing the uniform of one who does believe. So these are traitorous demonstrations that individuals carry on and carry out because earnestly and truthfully, you're still European and European minded. As the prophet said that he come to free us from the mental slavery. The mental slavery that was placed and is placed on our people even to this day is systematic. It's many different systems that work together. And when one fails to capture, another is there to ensnare you. Now, came to teach us the pitfalls of life. He came to teach us how to protect ourselves, how to guard ourselves. We were dwelling, well, not really dwelling, but we were studying a couple of surahs in the Quran of Mecca, and a particular surah demonstrates of how division came after the knowledge appeared. The knowledge of what? Your true knowledge of you is amplified when you come and touch the gospel plow that Allah has given to our holy and divine prophet. When you come and you pick this up, when you come and you declare before the congregation that you want to be a part of this, whatever in you is going to resonate and rise, and it's going to come forward. You may not know it, but everyone else who is in alignment with the prophet's program will see, and not long you will step aside. Because the prophet said that this organization, this divine movement, this divine nation will ground you to powder. He will not tolerate any interference. Why do you think you're outside doing your protests? Why do you think you went over there and started your own little bootleg organization? You can't get off that here in the Moorish Science Temple of America, not the one the Prophet Noble Ali founded. Maybe these other individuals might allow you to just be amongst them, not be responsible, not be accountable. Long as you pat them on the back and vote for them, you are there. You're their buddy-buddy demonstration. Peanut butter and jelly, as the Mahdi would say. Well, all we're demonstrating here is when this time, which is upon us, truly does start to magnify itself, where are you going to be standing? We just pointed out 4 to 6 different areas where individuals have already made their declaration. Religion ain't for them. Others say they're diametrically opposed to the prophet and his teachings. The others state that what the prophet has is not perfect, amongst other things that they say or imply. Your time is getting short, and people do not believe it. Your time is getting short. We were demonstrating with a few of our brothers that people honestly believe that the end of the world is coming and everybody will witness it at the same time. That's not how it works. That's not how it has ever worked. The end of the world is when you pass away. I didn't say us. I said when you pass away, that's the end of the world. Everything in between that, you have an opportunity for redemption. Opportunity to repent, but that's on you. So, again, when that day comes when you're let down by your former slaveholder, which way are you going to go? You're going to go with your U.C.C. buddies, your sovereignty brothers, maybe your, as my D say, your Hickory DOC brothers. All of these groups have not really produced anything but confusion. Or maybe you'll be with those who are diametrically opposed to the teachings of the prophet. Where they meet together, they look good, they sing songs that sound like they're at funeral processions. To me, I don't know to you, maybe it's something that you like. Maybe you like country music. I don't particularly, but that's just me. And all of these issues that are being magnified, they've always been there. Even during the prophet's time, there were those who were against him, who stepped aside. But they had the decency to name their organization something other than Moorish Science Temple of America. Noted that after the prophet's untimely death, there were two individuals who tried to usurp the name as it was their own idea and create and bring more confusion to an already devastated situation at that time. So we're not going to hold too long because we have other teachers and speakers. And again, when that European lets you down, are you going to run to your U.C.C, your sovereignty, your Zodiac, your Hickory DOC? Remember, when the 16 secretaries, which the prophet had spoke on, they're not going to really be feeling you guys running into the temple because you had opportunity to come of your own free will. When you're forced to do something, you begrudge it. So we can't trust you. That's just a fact. If someone does something begrudgingly, you really don't care. You really don't want to do it. All is well. Stay out. Go with the European. The prophet said he's going to be going home. Go with him. That's what you want to do anyway. So with that, we're going to yield the meeting and we're going to turn it over to our grand governors, Sheikh Concise and Sadiel. Again, we hope you got something from that and you'll research it on your own and just contemplate your frame. Because that day is coming for each and every one of us. We don't know when, but we do know it's coming. So, with that, we'll leave you as we came. That's in peace and love. Praises unto Allah Almighty. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Islam.
Bismillah. Allahu Akbar. Praise Allah Almighty. We greet you in the Moorish American greeting in Islam. We say Islam as we surrender to peace. That peace may dwell in this exchange of a holy day service message, that it may dwell afterwards, that it will resonate within our hearts and minds and continue on. May we embody peace and absolutely feel every measure of it. Islam, Islam, Islam. We give praises to our Father God, Allah Almighty, for He is the author of peace, the Creator, the Governor, Almighty, Eternal, Incomprehensible. To Him alone belongs all thanksgiving, praises, and worship. We humble ourselves to our Father God, Allah, for this day is our blessed holy day. And as we Moorish American Muslims in this community, and there's other Moorish American Muslims that are not affiliated with our community, but thus they understand the measure in which divinity ranks higher than simple physical human emotions. So when we say blessed holy day, it is something in which we're saying we're beyond the happy. Our demonstration is the embodiment of knowing that Allah is governing this. Allah is leading on and victory is assured. So anything that comes after blessed, it is authored by Allah. Happy, there's people that are happy doing naught. They're happy thinking that the adornments of carnality is going to somehow fulfill a need for them. And it's a temporary emotion. But when you're blessed, that's a lifetime essence in being in the oneness of our Father God, Allah. So I want to be in the mindset of being blessed, which is beyond happy. And so blessed holy day for those who get it, and for those who are still tarrying on, trying to figure out whether or not to be happy. May Allah be pleased with your good. We give honors to our Prophet Noble Jew Ali, the first American-born prophet in our era and time. For Allah blessed us so He gave us a gift that came in the form of human form, divine human form, to bring us a truthful and divine understanding of our relationship, not only with ourselves, our history, our nationality, but most importantly, our relationship with our Father God, Allah. For that is the epitome of the journey, is our returning to the essence from which we come from, fully to where we need not to be bogged down with this human physical carnality. We can definitely embrace the beautiful truth of ourselves, returning home, returning to our start, to our beginning. We give praises to Allah for giving us our prophet that gave us the blueprint, the map, the tools that is needed to have while on this journey. It's like when you plan a journey to go on holiday, whether it's in state or out of state, you plan, you know, what the transportation, how you're going to get there, boat, train, car, plane, where you're going to stay when you get there, how much money you have to spend for food and other necessities and so forth. So you go through all the rigmarole of the planning stage. Well, by Act 7 is part of our planning stage, along with other dictates of our faith, of our action, of being in the creed of Islam. We are planning our return. So we are gathering a sense of self. We are gathering an understanding of what we need to understand this journey, so we can be fully vested in the travel itself. that we're just not doing it for the sake of just doing something because, it's something to do, but there's rhyme and reason behind it. There is an essence behind why we do what we do, when we do it, and in the measure of the whole doing it. Praise the Lord Almighty. We can't back off all the honors given as we are in one accord with that idea of the lineage and the history of our temple. We give honors to our teacher, who we really have to shed light on, because without his knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, we would not have been able to continue. Okay, we got somebody coming. We wouldn't have been able to continue in the manner in which we are able to, because of his studentship, his ability to have sat with those who were there with the prophet, those who was with the prophet in terms of being with the prophet and learning from the prophet's students. Our Supreme Grand Sheik embodied that essence. He can talk to specific lessons, and that's the blessing. We hear Grand Sheiks and these Supremes and whatever mention that they teach it was this and that and the other, but they don't go into specific details of accounts of dates and times when this lesson unfolds. They don't go into specific details about the life of that person, because our chief ministers, teachers shared that, because it was through them sitting and going through the books, and chief drinking coffee and asking a gazillion questions. I bear witness to our leadership doing that when we went to visit one of the brothers who he was born in the temple. Both his parents were Moorish American Muslims, and he is in one of the conventions during Curtin Bay's times. And he was a baby. And I remember sitting there, and the brother was an elder, and chief is he's just going through the lessons with him. I need a copy of this. Okay, well, I mean, it was, and I remember the brother saying, Albert, you still the same way. You like a Jew. You always want some copies of something. And that's how Chief was. This guy, this Moorish American Muslim who's an elder. He gave Chief what he wanted in terms of certain copies, and actually he gave Chief the original copies that was printed during the time, well, after the prophet passed, and during the time, because he had original newspapers of the Moorish God back in the 30s and in the 20s, and he had several copies. He gave Chief several of those copies, and I was like, man, he said, you still the same, always want something. But that's the whole thing when you are a teacher and a historian, you want to collect the evidence. You want to collect it, not to harvest it, as we are hearing about these letters that were written to George Cook Bay by the prophet. There's certain Moorish American Muslims. Chief been asking for these letters. He said, I don't want the letters, just give me copies of it. I want the language. I want the history of what was written. But the letters are here, and then they're there. The letters are doing the hokey pokey. And it's like, Chief is like, listen, whatever. The sad thing is that the people, the so-called Moorish Americans that got it, it's not going to do anything with it. They're not going to do anything with it but allow it to dry rot and just evaporate. So, but as we are blessed that our Supreme Al-Mahdi, he wasn't selfish. He said, the strength comes in the ability to give the truth to those who have the hearts open to receive it. Because what it does is create other vanguards of the movement. You know, when you have the truth, it's supposed to set you free. It's supposed to free you from being chained to a lie that don't serve you. So when you have the truth, when people say, well, the truth hurts, it only hurts when you're fighting against it. Why are you fighting the truth? The truth ain't your enemy, it's your friend. Why not surrender to it, you know? And when you surrender to the truth, that's total peace. Total peace. And so it's a long opening enough. We give praises to our Father God Allah. And so in honoring our chief of ministers, we honor all true and faithful. We honor all those this day that's in the sound of our voice. May Allah continue to walk with you. May you continue to walk with Allah. May Allah see the good within you. And may your intentions resonate in faith, hope, and love. And so we welcome you to our blessed holy day, as we just went over why we say blessed. And Grand Governor's Isis Sadia. Well, here we go. I had my little measure. Chief demonstration actually was almost kind of coordinated with mine, but I'm going to speak on kind of continue on the measure in which we did last week. Thought is the cause of it all, and kind of part two. So when we talk about the mind and where is the nearest place we meet our Father God Allah, and if that is the nearest place we meet our Father God Allah, then our mind should resonate in harvesting righteous thoughts. Why would we have a place within our minds and our thoughts are not of purity? When we say pure at heart, anytime we use the term heart in Islam, we're talking about the mind. We're talking about the essence of Allah within the mind. Where do we meet Allah? In the heart of the mind, right? So anytime you see heart written in Sufi demonstrations and the unfolding of the heart, it's talking about the mind, not the physical heart. We're not going into, it's not in the flesh to think, of bones to reason. Too many Moorish Americans is into the physical and the carnality of their faith. They are not risen beyond the physical and being happy. Holy day. We want to raise you up to the understanding of being blessed. So this way you move differently when you have an essence that Allah is guiding you. The same measure in which you can illuminate over a past situation that has happened, whether it's 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, 2 decades ago. And you can sit in that heaviness and that sadness. And your mind has went back to that. So your mind doesn't have a clock. It thinks it's now reliving that same situation and scenario over again. So now your body reacts, the mind and body connection. So now your body is feeling the stress of that. Now your mind has kind of built up, depending on how stressful the memory is, your mind has created your body to build up the chemical cortisol, that stress hormone. So now you're in fight, flight, or freeze mode. And you're feeling it all now. I mean, you can be resonate over something. Man, I'm just going over and over, illuminating over and over. And your body starts acting to it. And the more you do it, the more you find yourself in living in a stressful state of being, where you have body aches, you have ulcers, you're tired, you're not sleeping, because sleep is bilateral. It's where if you had sleep inside of a circle and an arrow is pointing to mental health, that without sleep, it will disturb and create mental illness. Mm-hmm. And if you have mental illness, it will cause you not to sleep. Sleep is important. And when you're stressing out, you're not sleeping, you're not eating, you're not doing anything healthy for yourself. You're feeling the woe state. So you're in a constant loop mode of feeling bad. But you are in control of that narrative. You travel back in time within your mind to sit in that sadness that is no longer serving you. Now, it's a difference if you travel back in time to not sit there, but to observe, to almost look and see what gatherings of lessons I can pull from this. Maybe there's some jewels in this I can pull from it. And it's like you got a basket and what you thought was just charred glass, you looking at these are enriched diamonds. Let me pull from this. This is a lesson that I didn't appreciate because I was caught up in all the woe is me back then, but this is actually a good lesson. And then you move forward with that lesson to avail another narrative for yourself. So the same way we can sit in our sadness, I don't create a narrative of sitting in my gladness, being in a beautiful, peaceful state of mind. So now that's a lesson. Man, I went through that, but I came through it. So now the conversation shifts. Instead of saying, man, that happened to me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, that happened, but I got over it. I overcome. I'm in a better state. As we change our thought pattern with the language, our body tends to shift, and now it's firing off different types of signals, what we call those transmitters. Now it's firing off different. Our brain is shifting. That neuroplasticity is shifting, and we're causing them actually move in a different way. That peaceful state of mind brings us to a full, what they call homeostasis. Is that leveling of just being in total peace. But you can't get there if you don't have an understanding of where you come from. And that's the essence that even make it even more so. There's people, the truth is not, and as the prophet said in our Quran, the Circle 7, these secrets, these are not secrets anymore, right? It was a time appointed by Allah. He loosened the keys and freed these secrets. And for the first time in ages, these secrets have been delivered in the hands of the Muslims in America. Mm-hmm. So we have the secrets of these lessons to unfold and to unlock to make our lives even enriched. But even as we know in our lessons, the devil is evil, is equal to this understanding. He knows it. So you can live in a constant state of the woe is me, or you can live in a state of joy and happiness. The prophet gave us the lessons about the selves, Lucifer, Satan, devil, dragon, and the beast, right? The lower selves. Mm-hmm. And even those lower selves have other lower selves. It's just a whole bunch of cells, right? But there's only but one truth, the one self. The true self is the self of love. Mm-hmm. So you have all those various selves, right? The self of hate, the self of harm, the self of destruction, the self of envy, the self of jealousy, the self of pity, of shame. All these are various selves. But the greatest self is the self of love. Mm-hmm. And if we was to actually, say we're supposed to master what? Our lower self, right? Mm-hmm. How do we master our lower selves? Not push it away. Mm-hmm. We allow ourselves, we give ourselves the essence of the greatest self of love. So where we have the self of anger, we should be able to talk to that self of anger that it dissolves in the greatest self of love. Anger, come here. Hold that anger. Listen, I know you're fire. I know you fight there. I know you want to tear stuff up. But we ain't about destruction just for the sake of destruction because you're angry. Your fire is real. Your anger is real. But allow your destruction to resonate in a greater sense of peace. We know your fire. We know your desire. And allow that flame to just ignite a pathway to betterment, not to your detriment. So the self of love is talking to the self of anger, where anger now is like, wow. The momentum of that anger is gone. This energy to destroy is gone because self has embraced it. Now it's absorbed. And now every little self that pops up, because even Jesus said, by many cords, I'm bound to my lower self. And so we are bound to our lower selves, but we have the ability to raise ourselves up and actually take full control over our lower selves, to keep it in control. It's not to say it's not going to get out of control. It's not to say that it's going to totally disappear, because we are in the physical form that is attached to all the things that instigate those mini selves: envy, hate, self-harm, depression, all that's attached to the flesh, all of it. And so once we rise up beyond the flesh, we get to the cusp of really where we at. The embodiment of peace, when we raise our higher self up to a level to where it is here. And lower selves are there, but it doesn't have reign over our actions. Mm-hmm. It is not to say that it won't try to tear you up, but that lower self is going like, I got this. Your higher self in control. And the lower selves are there, but that's when we took full control of our lower selves, right? Mm-hmm. It's still tied to us. There's nothing go nowhere. By many cords, we're bound to our lower selves. It's still there. But it's how we manage to keep those lower selves bound. It's the conversation we have here. Mm-hmm. Thought is the cause of it all. So if our thought can cause certain things that happen, and the greatest things that the cause of it all is the all within us. Mm-hmm. What's causing us to move in a certain way that we move? What's causing us to say the things that we say? And once we resonate to a point to where we exercise our thought to where we are in the moment, we can stop ourselves. Whoa, wait a minute. That's not me. That's why wise men died of often. Let me pause on that. Let me think on that. Let me step back, because we know our triggers. And if we feel ourselves rising up, then step back and take a breath. Okay, this ain't feeling safe right now. Mm-hmm. And my words ain't going to feel safe right now. Mm-hmm. And let me step back and take a moment. Let me get back with this, Yeah, I need a moment to kind of get with my higher self. I need to talk with Allah. I need to meet with him. Because sometimes we get so discombobulated, we get caught up in our emotions, and now our cells are running all around. Now we got to grab them, put them back in the little pit, like, what are y'all doing? That's exhausting. Because then you be in the state, man, why did I do that? Did I have to do that? But that's the state we should always be in. Literally at the end of every day is to manifest our thoughts in a way to where we start doing an inventory of the what should have. Did I have to do that? What was the lesson from that? I could have done that better. What's the takeaways from this day? Yeah, I did good on that, but I flooded a little bit. Just like you looking at an instant replay of a game, and the coaches are looking at where things at, you can pause and like, yeah, that could have been done differently. So we rehearse these things in ourselves. So this way, the next time something similar happens, we can approach it in a more healthier way. We have the ability to create the mindset that we want to have to instigate the outer flow of our environment, create the life you want to create. You don't have to wait for love, or rather relationships, to feel love. You don't have to wait to get that win and scratch off tickets to feel wealth. You don't have to wait to feel that sense of belonging, to feel present. You don't have to wait for anything outside of yourself to instigate what's already there, because there's nothing outside of you that's greater than within you. You just have to get with self, take yourself out. You need to get to know yourself again, to learn yourself. Who are you? Start asking yourself questions. Beautiful internal question. What is it that I want? What are my goals? How I want this to unfold? What's my destiny like? What I want to happen, because we have to have vision. We have to be visionaries. And the visions that we seek, that's the vision we create. Change the tone and attitude. Change the, I don't know if I'm going to make it, to, well, no, I am going to make it. Without a doubt. It's going to happen. You know, man, I don't feel good today. No, I feel great. You know, I feel great. You know, I can be feeling greater, but I feel great. So, but I feel good. I feel good. I feel good. Sing a song in your head. Feel it. Even when your aches and pains. I fell today. I fell down today. Slipped down the stairs. And I was like, just stop. Just got to do it by the skin. See if anything broke. Wiggle down. I could feel that. Okay, my lung, it's on the ground. No, I got it. Felt like my lung came out my chest. But I'm okay. I'm just sore as crap. But I'm okay. Praise the Lord. I didn't succumb even to the pain. I didn't allow the pain to take over my attitude. You know, sometimes when you feel bad, people act bad. You ever seen people get, oh, what's wrong with you? My head hurt. Okay. Head hurt, attitude, everything hurt. Well, you know, what's up? But it's like, why do you allow the pain to disrupt your attitude towards it? Now it's compounded. Make it worse. Take them on. Oh, my head is hurting. Okay, why my head is hurting? What's going on? Did I stress out on something? Did I eat something? Let me play detective with myself, because I know myself. I'm the expert in me. That's okay. And once you find the source of what happened, then you can make that correction. But if you're in that I just can't stand the pain. Oh, I can't. Come on. So let's get past that. Let's get past that. You know, I deal with people who done with a lot of heaviness of grief, of trauma and so forth. And one of the greatest things that they have related to me is that the ability to tell a story, just to speak it, is a way to release it, to, you know, inhale and exhale it out, to where it's no longer locked up inside of them. And by them able to release the story, what happens is not just releasing a story to narrate to someone else, but it's to yourself. Is where you can feel the vibrations of what took place, and that you can release yourself from that. I'm not the product of the pain, you know. I'm the essence of the survival, the strength that was able to overcome and actually be better for it. Now I know better. I do better. I'm not going to wallow in what could have been and what should have been, and why this happened to me. Why did this, you know, that will leave you spiraling, you know. There's things that I know that I created for my children making the choice to move to Georgia. They didn't have any free will to make that choice. I made that choice for them. So I, changed the project because I initially was going to go to Vermont, but I shifted and came to Georgia. Would their life would have been different in Vermont? Hell yeah, but way different than Georgia. Mm-hmm. But when they got of age to take control of their own destiny, then they was control of the outcome of their lives based on the choices they made, based on the choices to befriend this person rather than this person, to go to this college instead of that college. Those choices that they made basically is the outcome. They have the outcome and they're living out the outcome of those choices. So we are challenged, or rather we put ourselves through the life test, our own test, by the choices that we make. Whether it's a choice to go back to school and whatever challenges that come from that, that's your test because you made the choice to do that. It had nothing to do with that. But we activate the law within to help us get through some of the humps and the bumps of the choices that we make. So there's an essence in where when we look at things that happen in our childhood and we didn't power to advocate for ourselves. That wasn't on us, that was on my parents. I'm not blaming them because they made choices in the best way they knew how, based on the conditions of what they went through. And so the choices in what we make is based on two things, nature and nurture, not whether you're a Capricorn or Sagittarius. That doesn't determine your personality or what you go through. I'm sorry, it doesn't. Nature, nurture, two things that determine your personality. I had to say that to a client. I said, if you ever go to a therapist and they say, "Oh, you a Cancer," girl, I know what's going on with you. Run, and then report them to the Secretary of State so they can have their license revoked. That's how we determine. A lot of times, I'm always asking my clients, "How was your childhood, your formative years?" That's what I want to know. Oh, this, that, and the other. Now this gives me an idea of why you are a protector of your things. So why you don't like change, because you was always uprooted all the time. Mm-hmm. So you like things in a certain way. You like things neat, you like things whatever, because you can control that. Because as a child, you can control your environment. And it was disruptive all the time, and you didn't like that. And so when you got older, it formulated a personality in you that you wanted control. But then there's a flip side to that, where you have some people that because of that personality of being disruptive and out of control, they went to the other side of the spectrum to where now they're out of control in all over the place. So it depends on what's the instigator in your adult life to make wiser decisions. It's a beautiful spiritual science to this. It's not complicated. So we're going to get into our teacher coming up to give us a demonstration. I'm a strong advocate of the U.C.C. and people who talking about you don't need the prophet. You can make your own stuff up. Been there, done that. It don't work. It don't work. It's still people text us and email us at the temple email address. How can I protect myself from the law? How can I?
You can pay for all that stuff. Get a job.
I was like, how many YouTube channels do we have to make to show that, hey, nobody was successful in any of that? And I got so annoyed at some of the judges. One judge was so polite. He actually was teaching law to this guy who had He had nothing to stand on. He kept saying, I don't want to sign on. Did nothing about law. He says, okay, that's not what you entered. You need to either this or that. It's not what you saying. I already get that you are here under duress or coercion or whatever. But the fact that you sitting here, you surrender to the idea of being a product of this court. So if that's the fear of you sitting here, it was just crazy how they try to manipulate the law. But at the end of the day, no one has been successful. Not even Taj Tariq. Taj Tariq is not successful. He doesn't have $1 million. He doesn't have a big.
He got their money.
Oh, that's his retirement fund.
Money.
His retirement fund.
He got their money.
There's no U.C.C. person that's living the high life. You know, a drug hustler living better life than the U.C.C. people. That's just after TRL and Associates. I think that was the downfall of all it, because I bear witness to this woman getting millions. She literally, I drove past it. I was there with her and the hard hats on. They had a whole subdivision being built, multi-million-dollar homes. I've seen it with my own eyes. I bear witness to people having checks. But they did it wrong. They got greedy. What they was doing, they mixed the truth with a lot of falsehood and got a lot of people caught up. And she wound up getting, how many counts? 13 or whatever felony accounts. And then they was going to send her mother to prison in the 80s. But I think she took a plea. But it doesn't work. I spent $3,000 on it and almost lost our home because of that. With the IRS having to go through.
And they waited some years to do that.
Yeah, they sitting back. They like vultures. They just sitting there waiting. But I had my stack of stuff. You know, my thing is, be wise. Don't play with this. The prophet said, I gave you everything you need, and anything you trying to evade from doing it according to what the prophet, it doesn't work. Either you're going to have a full temple with a lot of people doing different things, and it looked raggedy. It looked like a poor BTE sub channel, and people just kind of just doing their thing. It looks raggedy. The conversation is raggedy. The folks look raggedy. It just looks raggedy. And they think because there's a lot of turbans and heads, and then the fact that you have some temples is okay with their members walking around with dirty fezzes on, bent in, with wife beaters on, taking pictures, and that's okay with their pants sagging. Where's the race pride in that? I give more props to R. Jones Bay. They got the little suit and tie on. At least they dress, you know.
And they got the purple color robe.
and they wear the robes. At least they they got the the visuals. But yeah. I want to turn over my teacher. But if you want U.C.C. paper, you send us $1 million and we get you hooked up.
$2 million.
For entertainment purposes only.
It went up $2 million.
$2 million.
It's $2 million now.
And it'll be a small print for entertainment purposes only.
Allegedly.
Title 18.
U.C.C. 1-308.
He know about it.
Seen all them site draft checks.
Without prejudice.
He gonna play it up there for me when I sit down.
Death has no sting for me because Jesus defeated death. Bible says to be absent from the body is to be present with the
I ain't
Lord.
seen Jesus. I've been looking for him. I got a question or two.
I will die as Jesus as my Lord. Okay.
Let me take that off first.
Okay.
So they died with
You 2 days early, ain't you? You should be there on Sunday, go to church.
Yeah.
Jesus.
There you go. The Mo gonna play this first after I say my prayers. Give my praise. All praises due to Allah, Father, the universe, Father, seen, unseen, known, and unknown. I give high honors to Allah made it manifest to our holy prophet throughout this day, yesterday, days yet to come. Islam, Islam, Islam. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. Show that.
It's right. It's right to have its own customs. It's allowed. And not only that, people be like, well, you come from this body, I come from this body. And they have this argument. But this isn't how more science is set up. Not only that, our teachers teach against that. It says, nobody, unless their power extends beyond the great universal God, Allah, can change man's descendant nature. Your temple where you come from is your descent nature law. You can't change what temple. You can't change what lineage you
Now,
learned more science from. So why?
this is going to be, if the truth be told, Sunday meeting. We're going to deal with that. You know, it's all you California Moors, whores, boys, whatever you calling yourself. We're going to talk about this because, no, this is the problem. Don't get me wrong. I love everybody that put a fez on and call themselves Moors. I have no problem. But your devil is bigger than your fez. When you out here trying to teach what you don't know, he just said his teachers. What teachers?
Mm-hmm.
I asked what teacher? Because at one time, I was over the whole state of California. The whole state. The people I kicked out became his teachers. The people that I put out the temple became his teachers. The people other people put out the temple become his teachers. It's back off. Now, this is the thing that we're against. Every time I turn around, there's a new supreme, a new grand, a new this and that. And when you ask them to trace yourself back to the prophet, you hear this here. Brother can't trace yourself back to the prophet? Now, this brother here say, according to the law, anybody can make a temple, do what they want to do, say F the prophet.
Mm-hmm.
He don't even understand what he's saying. Well, you know, you can join the temple, you make your own rules and regulations. Then why are we call it an organization? If anybody, next thing you be talking about, hop around on 1 foot and that makes you a mo. Have a booger hanging out your nose, that make you a mo. I looked at these brothers, they got crystal stones wrapping cords around and talking about this is going to heal you. The prophet didn't teach that. Negro, come over here, I'll heal you. I'll hit you the top of your head and see an hospital. The doctor tell you what's wrong from there. Right now, Friday, they lying out of both pantyhose legs and from under their fez and from around their turbans. We have to stop it, Moors. Friday, the holy day from out and all over the world. To do what? Not to lie? These brothers keep telling about their teacher. They can't show. Let me show you. This is my book. See? Let me show y'all something. See this? This is my book. Now, in my book, I got big versions of the Quran, the literature, but this one I got on the front page. Can you see it, Isis? Mm-hmm. Queen Mother? My teachers. My teachers. My two major teachers. George Cookbay, I Cookbay. George Cookbay, the prophet sent to Baltimore, Maryland. He started temple number 13, the original temple 13. I Cookbay, he sent to Baltimore, he started temple number 19. The prophet, these men not only walk with the prophet, talk with the prophet taught them what they needed to know. And then they taught me. When I ask you about your teacher, you can't give me no ghosts. Well, you know, I had many teachers. The brother you kicked out, I followed him. The other brother kicked out, I followed him. And we just made up our stuff. I'm going to show you how phony this is. If you was about unity, how come you didn't join the temple? If there's a temple already there, how come you didn't join it? If the temple in the state was there,
How come you didn't join it? You ain't about no damn. You ain't about folly. You about prostitution. And for two type of moles come out the temple: propagators and prostitutes. I've been saying that for decades. And the prostitutes can't talk to me because they say I'm a pimp. You know, a hoe can't talk to no pimp. See, a hoe talk to a pimp wrong, he'd smack the hell out of her. You know. So the prostitute moles ain't got nothing on me because they hoes. And I'm looking now, just to give you an example of hoe stuff. I'm looking at this video. These Moors are holding up the peace and friendship treaty. They holding it up like you got saving power. And I know when I asked the question, I said, well, brother, you know, what year that come out? Oh, 1787. Okay. What year you say it come out? 1887, something like that. And I said, okay, brother. What's they got to do with you? The peace and friendship treaty. Well, you know, we're Moors and the Sultan, our Sultan. I say, you know what? Y'all the dumbest Negroes in the world. I got ready to say that N-word. But y'all the dumbest Negroes in the world. Did you notice Act 6? Act 6 is not being taught to Moorish Americans. Y'all just reading it. You're looking with your eyes, but your brain ain't picking up nothing. Let me just go through the peace and friendship treaty. I'm gonna put a smile on my face. Show that for a moment. Put that up there. Now, this is just a lesson. Can you see it, Queen Mother?
Well, yeah.
Huh?
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
All right, give it.
Catch what?
A nigga buzz took.
What? Nigga tell me that's Brazil.
Act 6. We'll all remember proclaiming the nationality, we're teaching our people the nationality, the divine creed, that they even know they're not Negro, colorful black people, or color folks. These names given slaves from 1779 to 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is new era time now. The Moors, Males, and the ancient Moabites that have the northwest, south, and shores of Africa. Boo-hoo! That's 6. Where do y'all find peace and friendship treaty in that? Let me ask God Google, when did the peace and friendship treaty come out? I'm gonna ask you, God Google.
It's 1786.
You say what?
1786.
You sure see the Mohawk says 1786. So wait a minute, but the prophets say from 1779 to 1865 during the time of slavery, right? So that covers what?
1786.
That covered peace treaty, right?
Oh.
Now, so when I looked at the Negro, he got to talking. I'm gonna tell you what the Negro is. The Negro name, he called me, he wanted to challenge me. The Negro name was Underlord Wade Hill. So he called me, tried to challenge me. I got the peace and friendship treaty right here, Mo, in front of him. I said, well, read it. He got to read it. I said, nigga, where say your name at? Well, the Sultan, Negro, shut up. I had to smack him with the phone. That's why they don't talk about peace and friendship anymore. He'll tell you it ain't nothing. Let me show you why. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by his toe. If he hollers nationality, let him go. Well, Mo, I say, get your God Google out and ask God Google for the original nursery rhyme, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. They tell you it comes in a variety of stations. One of the stations says exactly what I just said, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by the toe. They got different answers after that. But it's eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by the toe. Y'all open your phones up to Google right quick. Let me see if I'm lying. And tell Google you want the original nursery rhyme, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Y'all up there in TV land? Pick your phone up. You already got up anyway. Look at it.
I'm gonna ask my Google.
Ooh, that's a good one. Says some older versions of this rhyme.
Tell me that. What is it?
Some older versions of this rhyme had the word nigger instead of tiger.
Any, meeny, miny, more original.
Mm.
The original. You go to the original. This is the current version. We're going to the original version. Here you go, Mo. Show this. As soon as I find it. It says some versions of this rhyme use the racial spur nigger. Nigga, nigga, nigga. Here you go. Show that. What do y'all say? Y'all want the original?
Okay, right there.
One more time for the
That's not me. I didn't write that. I didn't type that up.
Yes, yeah, I see it.
Okay. What do yours say, sister? You want what says current version, then it says original version. What the original say?
Well, I'm still trying to sort through these articles.
So, I know I was a young Mo, very young Mo. My first teacher, Danny Lloyd Hill, he brought that up about any media mighty Mo. And we researched it. We found all types of versions of it. About 4 versions that had nigga in it.
Danny Lloyd, did he ever tell you who taught him that?
You know, I never learned who Danny Teachers was.
Oh, wow.
I think one was Sharif Ali. He was the one they put out the temple. Then he went to Washington. He started the Black Liberation Army up there. Sharif Ali.
The one that burnt down Jabal, Kareem Abdul Jabal was part of? Black Liberation?
No. It's Black Liberation. Black Liberation Men Army, something like that out of Washington. Anyway, that brother was down. Sharif Ali, that brother, I read a lot of his stuff. What you laughing about, Mo?
This one, it says, original.
Say it loud.
1888, it was used for choirs for Bert Fitzgibbon's 1906 song, Eeny, Meeny, Mighty Mo. Eeny, Meeny, Mighty Mo, catch a nigga by the toe. If he won't work, let him go.
I told you 3-4 versions are better.
But when you get money, your little
nigga will show.
Little Brad will surely find out where you hide.
So anyway.
I'm sorry.
So when I told his brother about his vision, his hopes that Dred Scott, not Dred Scott, but Peace and Friendship would save him. I said, brother, do you see what it says when you get deported, you be put up for ransom? He said, yeah, Mo says in 2-3 articles here. When they get deported, they'll put you up front. What that mean? That's any, meeny, miny, Mo. Here you go. Mo is so stupid, they don't even read the prophet's words. If you go in the oil statement clearly states the prophet said that the Europeans left America, went to the Sultan of Morocco and asked, you got any workers? You got any free workers? You got anybody we can work with, that we can work? And the Sultan said, take them niggas down there. The reason they said take them brothers and sisters down there, because they want to honor the Sultan. Everybody honor the Arab Sultan. So they went over there, captured them, but the Sultan said this is, but all my subjects you got to set free. And they said it would have to be at a cost because we took them overseas. We took them overseas, you got to pay to get them back. So that's what they call ransom.
Was it the Sultan change your mind because didn't he make the deal with the European that take them because they didn't want to listen to me?
Yeah, see, all that's what I just said. See, the catch is here. The sultans were different. The sultans, some was Arab, some was Negro Arabs, made into Arabs. And so you have to understand these. That's why I showed y'all the book, Illustrated History of Islam by Dr. Rafoot, the award-winning book. And I show y'all these things. I show you things that's in the Arab world that they saying. And that's on page 127 Islam in Africa. Then the subtitle is The Spread of Islam in Africa. Then on the next page, 120, it says this here, subtitle, The Arabization and Islamicization. So they made you an ad before they made you into Islam. This is why right in America, our people speak Arabic, they look like Arabs, they dye their beards orange, all this other stuff. Because they're trying to be other than themselves. The Arabs did the same thing the Europeans did, gave us their names and stuff. When you was a Christian, you had a Christian name. But what you don't understand, Christian names have meanings. For example, my name was Gregory. Now, Gregory means vigilant when you translate it. There's a vigilant in Arabic. There's a vigilant in all other languages. There's something that means vigilant, that he was acutely aware. Now, so I remember when I was coming up, this is what he used to say. Don't you want to get rid of your slave master name? Don't you want a real name? I know that. I'd say, what you mean by slave? You know, my name at that time was Swanigan. Your name is Swanigan. You know, that's a slave master name. You tracing yourself through a slave master and a racist blue-eyed devil. I said, okay, so what's a holy name? You got to get Islamic name, brother. Akbar, B-Bar, U-Bar, U-Not. And I'm like, those Arab names. Why I got to skip over Africa to get an Arab name? They go with their religion, but you tell me Islam ain't racial. But the whole fact I got to get somebody else's name is racial. Plus the fact Muhammad said this, that when you imitate another people, you stop being yourself. So I stopped being a brother and I become an Arab. That's why they call it the Arabization. Let me see what Arab is. Go to your God Google. I ain't looked it up. Let me go to your God Google. See what your God Google say. Arabization.
Stabilization means making something
Not stabilization.
secure.
Arabization.
Arabization.
An accusation is a claim,
No.
either formal or informal, that someone
Arabization.
An accusation can be either formal or informal. It's
I
informal
forgot
when it's
AI
a
can't
claim.
understand me.
Play like they can.
The Arabization. They got authorization. That ain't gonna work for me. Somebody else do that. Because, you know, that's why I like AI. It can't understand me.
It's saying Arabization is the historical and ongoing process of adopting the Arabic language, culture, and customs, replacing native language and traditions in regions like North Africa and the Middle East.
So you stop being yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Then they get mad at me because I be myself. I'm a Moorish American. I got an Asiatic problem. You can't have no problem other than Muhammad. You can't have no other problem because you're an Arab. You're not even yourself. I wonder, do y'all drink camel piss?
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Muhammad said when you get sick, drink some camel piss. I got videos where they washing their face in camel piss. They drinking camel piss, all in the name of Allah. And they got slaves. Get down. Right now, in Libya, they got slaves. They got women leaving America to get poopy dude on for $50,000. What religion tells you can do on somebody else's woman for $50,000? Think about that. And you're talking about you Islamic. That's happening in Dubai. Doodoo get you by, huh? Is that what it's saying? Doodoo get you by? That's what it's saying. They say Dubai. They're talking about doodoo get you by.
Dubai.
Yeah, doodoo get you by.
It's true.
So me arguing with this satanic character, Dark Sith Lord Abia, Wade Hill. And I say, okay, bro. So he had to admit, it does say that. Now, question. I had to ask Lord Sith Abia. How do you know on a ship that the person is a member or a citizen under the Sultan or he a nigger? We ain't stopped to think about that. How did they know the difference Now here you go get the Sundry Dry Moore case, and the guy tells you out of his mouth in the case, he said, we talked to the captain. We told him that we were subjects of the Sultan of Morocco. He said, when we get you to show, we have you ransomed. Instead of taking him to where he could be ransomed at, they sold him into slavery. Look it up. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a nigga by his toe. If he hollers nationality, let him go. So everybody on that ship was going to be set free. Oh, Armistead case. That was the Armistead case was about. They said they was free. They killed their captors. They did all that to the ship. Y'all don't even understand. They had rights as free men to defend themselves. A free man has the right to defend himself. Y'all looking for civil rights. Y'all want to march in somebody's restaurant so they can doodle in your food and piss in your coffee and you can be happy. Because you sitting at their table.
Mm-hmm. You got to sit at the table. Man.
Now they taking it away from you. You mad. They taking all the civil rights away. Who gave it to you? So what they Indian give us? Who gave it to you? You go beg that man for something and he give you a doodle sandwich mixed with some eggs and stuff. Then he take it away from you mad. And you more have been, listen, this man, it takes so many judges to accept the case for it to be heard in the Supreme Court. Well, 4 judges accepted the case, and the case is 14th Amendment. Now, they're attacking the 14th Amendment by saying you can't be born an American if your mom and daddy weren't Americans. Mm. So that means how many slaves, mamas and daddies were Americans? I'm trying to warn y'all. I'm being like Noah. Get on this boat before you sink. I'm just like Noah. My stuff coming 2 by 2s right in line. My stuff coming in 2 by 2 right in line. Why ain't yours? I'm gonna tell you, I don't have to believe Noah. He building the shit. And then all of a sudden, I look coming down the highway, animals coming in by 2s. I'm finna jump. I'm finna jump. Let me tell y'all something. My second wife was an apostolical woman, and they believe that in September 27, 1997, all gonna go to heaven. And sometimes I go to church with my wife and listen to the story. I'm gonna once say, but Reverend, what if I had no money, Reverend Bishop? He said, don't be a fool, you're just gonna spread wings and wake up there. I said, she believe that? So I'll go there and try to talk to my wife. This is what I learned. Somebody that truly believes, you can't change their mind. They have to see for themselves. And sometimes they see for themselves, it's too late. So my wife left me in 91 because I didn't believe in that dumb stuff. And they say, of course, to my son, my stepson, man, because I buy them new clothes and stuff. I was taking them places. We would go to museums and everything. They couldn't do that because they was apostolical. But now they can take people in. I remember this one guy, he had 1,000 acres of land, he gave it to them. Another guy had about 400 or 500 cows and horses, he gave it to the church. Everybody giving their stuff to the church. So Bishop McCullough had to sit me down because, they want to know why I'm not following their religion. So they got me in the room, the bishop up there, and I'm just like looking around. And he talked to my wife, then he talked to me. Sister Elmo, why is your husband like that? Look at me. I said, she married me like this. No change. Well, what if the second resurrection, he said, what if on the resurrection, bro, we disappear? What you gonna do then? I said, he told me it's 2. There's one March 31st to April 2nd. That's the first one. The second one is September 27, 1997. Now, see, I already told y'all that. I said, I'm going to be on the second resurrection. They said, well, how you going to do that? I said, when it get to be March 1994, I'm going to take my wife's hand. I'm going to tape it to my head. Wherever I go, a hand going to go. When a hand disappears, I know I'm safe. Because when the hand disappeared, I'm gonna pray to Jesus till my dookie hole fall out. I'm gonna pray and pray. I say when September 27, 1997 get in, Jesus gonna get me first. He gonna get me before you get in y'all, because I want to be so holy. So they didn't like that. But I had an opportunity twice, right? If y'all gonna disappear March 31st through April the 2nd. I said, you know that's April Fool's Day, right? I said, April the 2nd is the end of April Fool's Day. Well, baby, woo. I said, okay. So anyway, they told her to leave me because I didn't believe in that stuff. So she left. She thought I was gonna come back home to her. You know, she took me to McDonald's. I had my coffee and egg McMuffin in the morning. And then she said I said, when you coming back to get me? I said, you don't know when you coming back to get me. What kind of stuff is that? I do something funny then. You gonna come back and get me and I'm paying for this car? You gotta be out your damn mind. Jesus. So I asked her, so I got in the car with her. So I said, give me the car. I ain't gonna give you the car keys. I couldn't drive in, it was the stick, but I'll tear it up. So I snatched the keys, so I punched her in her shoulder and stuff, so she called the police on me. So the police come, and they talking, and the police tell me, you know, you can get charged with assaulting your wife and stuff. I said, let me tell you something. It was a brother and a European. I said, let me tell both of y'all something. I'm 900 miles away from my home, Chicago. I'm buying a house down there, and this is my car. Now, ain't nobody gonna leave me on the highways and byways, sir. They said, we'll give you the car. She said, he can't drive no stick. I said, I can't, but I run over something. I said, I get out of there, I run over something. So I had to call my guy, Mo, Leonard Moore. So Leonard Moore come and got me. And so I got back to the house. She done took everything, the coffee pot, and she's everything but the coffee pot. And I'm just like, oh, she done stole all of my stuff. So I knew she was hiding at the church, right? So I had Leonard drive me up to church, and I stole the car. Because Leonard showed me how to stick, you know. You go 15, then when you get 15, you go 30, you switch gears. I learned all that right then and there. So I stole the car. She cut the phone off and everything.
She's going to heaven without you.
So yeah, she's going to heaven without me. So I got me a ticket to go back to Chicago, and her father took me to the train station. And that woman called me in 1995. I picked up the phone. Ring, ring. I said, Islam. Hey, I said, you calling me long distance, huh? She said, yeah, I'm still in Mississippi. I said, no, you must be in heaven. Because it's 95. You can't be calling me from no damn Mississippi. And this is 95. You left me in Mississippi. Her mama get on the phone. Well, you know, boy, Rod, I didn't believe that. You're a damn lie. I told her mama, you's a damn liar. You the one that put all that dumb stuff in her head. I said, now she ain't got no husband. She finna lose the house. And all y'all dummies didn't go to heaven. 1995, she called out Chicago. You know how she got my number? She contacted Dr. U.C.C. Bay. Dr. U.C.C. Bay called me and said, there's a woman called and said she's your wife. I said, what? I said, yeah, her name is Elmo Eel. I said, that's my wife. And I said, you can give her the address phone. She gave the phone number, so she called me. But I knew she was in heaven. Can't nobody be that stupid. So she said she wanted to get back with me. I said, I can't get back with you. She said, why? I'm allowed to tear your head off if you smile hard. I said, you betrayed me. I didn't mean that. I said, I give you one thing credit. You taught me a lesson. What's that? You believe in the dumbest of stuff. And if you can believe that strong in the dumbest of stuff, I can be just as hard in the real stuff. That taught me a lesson. There's people out there that really got faith, that really believe everything they've been taught by their minister. Their family reinforces it. So I give them honor for that. You know, although they didn't go to heaven, I'm still here. Anyway, my Queen Mother met my wife, my second wife. She came to a funeral of my auntie. Yeah. She knew I was gonna be there, that's why she showed. But she ain't no kin to her. So. But I learned about faith and faithfulness that day. When you can believe so hard, and everything your minister says is nothing but the truth to you, then you faithful. And they was faithful to that man. And this is what I told. I forgot to add this part too. They said, "What you gonna do between the time we disappear, we go to heaven in September 1927? I mean, September 27, 1997. I said, I want y'all to sign all your land over to me. Give me all the cows, the chicken, and all the land and all the houses, because y'all be gone. Y'all won't need it. I can live like a king. 1,000 chickens. I eat eggs every day. All the cows, and I could ride around. Because one sister had 10,000 acres of land she gave to the church. I'd have sold that. Because she was going to sell me acre land for $3,000. She was going to sell me that. Acre land for $3,000. I was like, man, I don't know how many people I got to rob to get this done. So, but anyway, you got to have faith. There's a movie I call Fright Night. And in Fright Night, the vampire tells the man that the vampire killer, he put the cross up, it didn't hurt him. He grabbed the false cross and burnt it up. He said, you got to have faith for this to work on me. You got to have faith for your dumb stuff to work on me. And it ain't going to do but make me mad. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a nigga by his toe. If he hollers nasty down and let him go. Now, I want to see if y'all didn't look good enough on this paperwork. I got paperwork. See, you got the yellow. See, I highlight, underline, highlighted. So I explained, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I explained in such a way, even a dummy, a guy with half a head and no brains would understand what I'm saying. See, this is what teachership is about. This teachership that I'm giving you is so sound. The devil will get mad at you for talking about it. It's so sound. You have to check yourself, because you have to say, man, I didn't think like that. I don't know what I was thinking about. Now, the fact that you never understood, if you watched those movies, you never understood how the European knew they was free people. That's why you have to watch the Armistead. You see, it's all about freedom. The Armistead case was all about, these were free men captured, and they overturned the ship people. And the ship people talking about they were slaves. They was born slaves. But on the catalog, on the ship log, it had their names, who they was. Now check this out. I'm sure how cold-blooded this European is on this history teaching. The top figure in the Armistead Act, now I'd say the European because the sister was following his lead, Debbie Allen. Debbie Allen made a mean move when she made that move. And on the thing, the guy that caused them to rebel on the ship was named Sin Q. What you don't understand, his name was Sin Q Bey. At the end of the movie, they say his name, he said, Islam Saqui Bey. He called him Bey. That established his heritage. He called him a Bey Mo. I think Debbie Allen knew what she had when she put it up there. Watch that movie. In the end, he said, Saqui Bey, the lawyer that defended him. Not only the lawyer defended, but the ex-president that carried the case. It was the ex-president of these United States that took up the case. And what you don't understand is all this is legal entanglement. See, those people, the people that kidnapped these people and was trying to force them to slavery in America, they were subjects of the king. But how did the people know they subject of the king? Because they asked them. See, on the slave ship, they always had Negroes that go hunt you down. When you look at even in Roots, they told Kuta Kinte, don't go by the beach or by the beach because they'll hunt you down. Who? They had Negroes that would catch them. For what? They got some extra chili beans. They got some lamb. They got. Just like right now, the Chitlin Circus, those brothers up there with Trump are chitlin eaters. They eat doo-doo. Now, so we begin to understand the truth of all this here. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Like I said, this is a paper document right here. I got enough on here that if you study, go get these papers, get these things I tell you to get, you can clearly defend yourself. You can clearly defend who you say you are and why. Huh? No, you can't take a picture of that. It's not for picture taking. It's picture taking. So, when we begin to understand what's going on, the lesson, see, I got a whole notebook just with this one lesson. And this one lesson is based on Act 6 with us. Why must you proclaim your nationality? When did that start? You know when it started? 1774. You go to the original 1 or 2, what do it say? Name some of the marks put upon the Moors by Satan the Beast in 1774. Now, slaved them again to 1779. Y'all ain't understanding that. Why? Yeah. So when you look at this here, Act 6 is a historical and legal balance. Law is full of law. And if you follow the bouncing ball, you'll free yourself. When these people wake up and tell you, you say, I was born. So this, you never hear this. I'm going to say this here again. I want to make myself perfect. You never heard our prophet, Noble Joali, say that we was descendants of slaves. Act 14. Why are we Moorish American? Because we descendants of Moroccans and born in America. It don't say nothing about we descendants of slaves. You Negroes are listening to all these other Negroes coming, yeah, we born slaves. I wasn't born a slave. Now, when you get through, go look at this case they got up there, the Supreme Court, and it says that if your mom and daddy was here illegally, you can't be born American. What did that tell you? If your mom and daddy was not Americans, you can't be one. That's what they're trying to get rid of. Now, that deludes, what the prophet say? Stuff deludes in something else. It deludes in the slavery. So now if they pass that bill, the next step is you Negroes who keep saying that your mom and daddy were slaves, guess what? You can't be an American citizen. And when they get rid of the 14th Amendment on that level, what you gonna do? Try to run over there and use my stuff? I'm not gonna tell you after this.
Everybody gonna say they under you.
It'll be too late then.
Secretary scratched him there.
Yeah.
There you go.
We're fighting our own people about you. Y'all ain't even went into this. Y'all fought in Taj Reed. Taj Reed, when he had Cujo and them, I was watching a video. They got pulled over by the police, highway patrol. They said, call the FBI. They know what we're talking about. Call the damn FBI. Do you know how to haul off and slap the hell out of Taj for saying that? Wait a minute, nigga, you got me all the way caught over there. You talking about the FBI? Just say the FBI. Fat, bald, and ignorant people. I just smacked the hell out of him.
Call FBI.
That's what he said on the video.
Mhm.
He said, y'all need to call, he told the sheriff, y'all need to call the FBI because they know what we're talking about. The FBI don't know what the hell you talking about, Negro. You know what the hell you talking about. You know, I'm so glad I had the mom I had because I'd have woke up after. If I told my mama something that stupid, I'd have woke up 2 days later. I'd be 2 days of fasting. 2 days of not using the bathroom. Because my mom would have knocked the hell out of me. I'd have woke up with a knot inside my head like a baseball bat. I couldn't believe nobody that stupid. Listen, when that Negro under Sith Lord Abia was trying, he don't even talk about that. I want it right now. People would say he don't even talk about the piece. He said it ain't worth nothing. This is the same man that run around with a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket on top of his head. I have to admit, he stopped talking that dumb stuff after I showed him in the law about what he was going by. That ain't it, bro. And see, some of y'all gonna fight me to the bitter end, and then when it happens, it's gonna be too late. Because your Jesus ain't coming for you. When they tapped Jesus, he hollered his ass and he said, I'm Jewish.
That's it.
He didn't say nothing, he said, I'm Jewish. The only person that lied was Paul.
Yeah.
Every time they called Paul, Paul said, I'm Jew. Paul said, I'm Roman. See, Paul was a con artist. Whatever nationality he thought he could get away with, that's what he said. That's why they hung that punk upside down. What's that? What they say? What they say? What they say?
Yeah, they know.
What? Just pay $5 on information. What's this information from?
The little picture.
Huh?
Look in the picture.
What's in the picture? Now you know that's the insult. He gonna offer me $5 funky dollars, like I'm his child or something. He go, Junior, take this $5. Go get your hamburger. Hey, put this phone back over there. You should catch up with some more members of your temple and find out something. I can't believe somebody offered me $5 funky dollars. You know what? I'm gonna say this. One day, before I went back to California, I was staying with my auntie, my cousin Mary. And it's right off the whole stroll of Madison. And so these brothers be messing with this hole coming down the street, right? So one of the Negroes said, "Oh, come and get this $5. You know you need this money. Get all the money. Come and get this $5." She said, "All dogs don't want a bone." I holler out doing, "Tell them, ho!" I holler out my cousin window, "Tell them, ho! All dogs don't want no bone." The nigga shut up.
You was ad-libbing to the window.
Yeah, I was talking to the window. Because I've been watching them when they go to work and stuff. You know, and I knew a bunch of them. Because, you know, I go down there in Pulaski and stuff. There was a McDonald's down there in Pulaski. Off of Madison, I used to go there to McDonald's almost every other day and sit and talk with the Masons, the Muslims, and a bunch of hoes. But that one got me. That hoe said, "All dogs don't want no bone." But that brother, "Come and get this $5. You know you need to come $5." She said, all dogs don't want no bone." And I holler out doing, "Tell them, girl." Woo! Just the concept of that. Somebody offer you $5 for $1 million worth of lessons. Should tell you something. He tell you what, with the shape we don't want to pay for what we get.
Pay for a line,
Yeah, we pay for that lie. We fought a lie all through the dookie hole. We put our head all over somebody's ass for that lie. Anybody else up there, Queen Mother? Everybody else got sense, huh? Okay, it's 10 after. I'm gonna let it close out. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah. All dogs don't want no bones.
I gotta see this ties to replay you talking about.
You look like Don Cornelius.
Without the process.
Yeah,
No, I'm talking about the video where he said that.
Oh,
I got it somewhere. And he told the people they all on the highway and stuff. The police got him, and another brother taking the pictures, taking the taping of him. And I know he said, "Call the FBI. They know what we're talking about." Called him. I'd have hauled off and just smacked him. I'd have unzipped my pants and smacked him.
All that paperwork didn't work. Huh?
Yeah. I just told that to Cujo recently. He was trying to talk to him. Do you still have that gun in your drawer? Come here and find out. Come here and find out. Ain't no mystery. I don't follow no mystery God.
Mystery sister.
Yeah.
Make you
So-
have that real quick.
Crazy as heck. I anoint you. Zip damn food today.
Blessed be
The
the
one.
Blessed are the pure in heart. I think that's what they need. They need this book here. The Negro Motorist Green Book. That's what you need how to get someplace. See, this is a true book. Hills, taverns, garages, nightclubs, restaurants, service stations, automobile, tourist homes, road homes, barber shops, beauty parlors, prepared in cooperation with the United States Travel Bureau. This guy, Victor H. Green, publisher. He published this book so we will be safe on the highway. So you knew what restaurants to go to, what restaurant not to go to. See, I had to give y'all the Morris Green book. Because y'all stupid. Ain't that right, man? You said what?
Islam.
Islam.
We rise giving eternal praise to Allah, giving highest honors to our holy and divine prophet, Noble Drawley. We come back off all the honors given this day. I'm reading from the Holy Quran, the Moorish Science Temple of America, chapter 32, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Charity. The man who has sown his breast to seed of benevolence, the produce thereof should be charity and love.
Give me some more.
From the fountain of his heart shall rise rivers of goodness,
Give me some more.
and the stream shall overflow for the benefit of mankind.
What?
He assists the poor in their trouble. He rejoices in furthering the prosperity of all men.
Get your booty.
He censureth not his neighbor. He believeth not the tales of envy and malevolence, neither repeateth he their slanders. He forgiveth the injuries of men. He wipeth from his remembrance. Revenge and malice have no place in his heart. For evil he returneth not evil. He hateth not even his enemies, or requireth their injustice with a friendly admonition. The griefs and anxieties of men at sight is compassion. He endeavoreth to alleviate them, and the pleasure of success rewardeth his labor. He calmeth the fury. He healeth of angry men, and preventeth the mischief of strife and animosity. He promoteth in his neighborhood peace and goodwill, and his name is repeated with praise and benediction. Islam. As always, we thank those who continue to support the Moorish temples of Islam. And just you saw the man put $20 down last night. So there are men waiting to put thousands of dollars for the progress of this divine movement. Then I in turn use among the temples seeing that you are comfortable. I can show many illustrations. I have demonstrated that you may use my money if your heart is right, pure, and just. So, this is a New Year's celebration. Turn over a new leaf, you Moors. This is the beginning of new business. The heads of all temples, Grand Sheikhs, must conform themselves to the divine principles, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. They must live the life among the members and be loved by them as even the prophet is loved. They must not practice the principle of segregation among any group in his or her temple. Would that be a good Moor? Let it be he or she that is head of any temple of the Moorish Science Temple of America, that there come any grievances. Notify the prophet instantly, and do not attempt to quiet among yourselves. All heads of all temples are to constrict and confirm to these laws from the prophet Noble Drew Ali. Moorish Science Temple of America, October the 17, 1928. To the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Islam. This is the from your prophet Noble Drew Ali. Be faithful unto your forefathers' divine and national creed, that you will be blessed for your good deeds that you sow in the flesh. Allah is the one that judges the world, and his judgment is now on, but the weak can comprehend it not. The end of time is drawing near, so says Allah to his divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And that is why many hearts have been turned to stone, and many eyes cannot see, ears to hear but cannot hear, lest they would be confounded of their sins. These are the trying hours now, dear Moors, and every evil spirit is moving. And they are trying every weak mind to overthrow and drag out the true foundation that has been laid, and to cause confusion in the minds of the ones that do believe. But if you had a true love of Allah and the spirit of your forefathers, you fear not what you hear or see, but will sacrifice the utmost of your very life to protect your movement and your property. Watch your enemies, dear Moors. Your enemies are the ones that speak against your prophet and ridicule your very lords, and the ones that speak against your divine and national principles of your temple. Act accordingly, and Allah will bless you for your good work. Peace, your divine prophet, Noble Drew Ali. Our salvation, Allah, unity. The Moorish Science Temple of America, the divine constitution and bylaws. Act 1. The Grand Sheikh and the chairman of the Moorish Science Temple of America is empowered to make law and enforce laws with the assistance of the prophet and the grand body of the Moorish Science Temple of America. The assistant Grand Sheikh is to assist the Grand Sheikh in all affairs. If he lives according to love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice, and it is known before the members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Act 2. All meetings are to be open and closed promptly according to the Circle 7 in love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Friday is our holy day of rest, because on a Friday the first man was formed in flesh, and on a Friday the first man departed out of flesh and ascended unto his Father God Allah. For that cause, Friday is the holy day for all Muslims all over the world. Act 3. Truth, peace, freedom, and justice must be proclaimed and practiced to all members of the Moorish Science Temple of America. No member is put in danger or accused falsely of brother or sister on any occasion may harm his brother or sister because of God's love. Act 4. All members must preserve these holy and divine laws, and all members must obey the laws of the government, because by being a Moorish American, you are part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. Act 5. This organization of the Moorish Science Temple of America is not to cause any confusion or to overthrow the laws and constitution of the said government, but to obey hereby. Act 6. All members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed, that they may know that they are a part and parcel of this said government, and know they are not Negroes, colored folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders in 1779 and lasted until 1865 during the time of slavery. But this is a new era time now, and all men now must proclaim their free national name, to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. This is the reason why Allah, the great God of the universe, ordained Noble Drew Ali, the prophet, to redeem his people from their sinful ways. The Moorish Americans are the descendants of the ancient whom inhabited the northwestern and southwestern shores of Africa. All members must promptly attend their meetings and become a part and parcel uplifting acts of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Members must pay their dues and keep in line with all necessities of the Moorish Science Temple of America. Then you are entitled to the name of faithful. Husband, you must support your wife and children. Wife, you must obey your husband, take care of your children, and look after the duties of your household. Sons and daughters must obey father and mother and be industrious, and become a part of the uplifting of fallen humanity. All Moorish Americans must keep their hearts and minds pure with love and their bodies clean with water. This divine covenant is from your holy prophet, Noble Drawley, through the guidance of his father God, Allah. Noble Drawley is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America. As it is recorded, the holy prophet, Noble Drawley, once, if there is something going on wrong in your grand body, and the head of the temple knows what's going on wrong and he doesn't stop it, it's because he is in on what's going on wrong. And as our leadership has stated, there is no sense in having the law if after they've been read that they are willfully and continuously violated, and there is nothing done to violate of said law, then you are in on what's going on wrong and you are part of the problem. Islam. At this time, we'll yield the meeting back to our grand governors.
Why you getting my phone?
Leave you as we came to you. That's peace and love and praises unto Allah Almighty. Bismillah, Bismillah, Bismillah.
Islam, Islam, Islam. We trust that everyone got something out of our blessed holy day. For those who are interested in joining, go to the main website, msta1928.org. What are we doing?
Sunday, we're having, if the truth be told, we're going to be talking about those people from the more scientific of California, more scientific of Oakland, more scientific of Hawaii, more scientific not. So,
We're going on a field trip tomorrow, right?
yeah, we're going on a field trip tomorrow. Tomorrow, tell them where we're going tomorrow.
The Moorish Science of America, Grand Table 2, we're going on a field trip.
A field trip?
So I hope you had your notices, signs, permission forms, please.
Box too.
Yeah, everybody bring your lunch. Make sure you have some money for little souvenirs. Well, we've been invited to one of the community befriended our community some time ago. Yeah, because we are very active in faith. And this is the Ahmadiyya community. I think last time it was a senator there, a statesman there. And,
I'm gonna ask for some money this time.
and so we have been invited as a community to go to represent. And so we are going. And so looking forward tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And yeah.
Get you there.
Yeah.
So
all right. So that and then Sunday school for those who are interested. So with that being said, we gonna go ahead and close out.
Be quiet. I told you to stop that.
It's time to pray, dog.
Excuse me. Islam, hold fast. Allah, bind our hearts and minds back to our ancient forefathers' divine creed and principles. We act this in His holy name and of the seven Elohims. Amen.
Tell them all name.
Islam.
Tell them all name.
Islam.
So you going?
Islam. Thank you for being the best part of what we do, and that is to inform, educate, and uplift. We welcome you to learn more about us, join our mailing list, or perhaps you are seeking to become a member of our community. We invite you to visit our website at msta1928.org. You would also find a host of various publications to aid in your understanding about the history and faith of Islam from a Moorish American perspective at the MoorishIslamicStore.com. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to be informed of our regular scheduled programs. May Allah go before you. We leave you in the best of ways, peace and love, in praises to Allah Almighty.